Are you going through a storm? If your answer is yes, please listen to this carefully. There are actually two kinds of storms that you might face in this life. There's a storm that arises as a result of your obedience to the living God. And then there's a storm that arises because of your disobedience. Do you remember when the Lord Jesus was going to cross over to deliver the man who was living among the tombs? How there was a windstorm that arose? Do you remember? And he had to rebuke the storm by saying, "Peace, be still." See, that storm arose because he was on the right path. He was moving from one stage to the next, from one level to the next. And as a result, he was faced with difficulties, which we call a storm. In his case, it was physical and spiritual at the same time. But how many of us know that there's another kind of storm, the one that was faced by Jonah? The storm that the men on the ship faced when Jonah was on that ship was a storm that came about because of Jonah's disobedience. And sometimes, because we have the wrong people in our lives and in our boats, storms come. And these are storms we could have prevented had we walked in obedience to the living God. So if you are faced with a storm, the question you ought to be asking yourself at this time is, what has resulted in this storm? Is it because of my obedience to the will and instructions of God, or am I walking in disobedience, and hence the reason I am faced with all these difficulties? Your storm might just be an indication that you are doing the right thing and that you should continue to press along until you attain whatever the Lord has promised you. But then there might be a storm that is meant to redirect you on the right path. The difficult things that you're faced with are probably meant to say to you that this is not where the Lord wants you to go. This is not where He wants you to be. So please consider turning back or making a different choice. So which storm are you going through? Is it the one that has come because of your obedience, or is it the one that has arisen because of your disobedience to the living God?